The Oprah Winfrey Network slashing nearly a fifth of its workforce, leaving just 90 people at the struggling network. According to Oprah, the economics of a startup cable network just don't work with the cost structure that was in place. This was a necessary next step. So why don't I hear people on the left lambasting her like they did Mitt Romney for firing people? Time to bring out our panel. Yu-Dee Chang is the chief trader and sole principal of Ace Investment Strategists in D.C. Chris Wilson is a Republican pollster and strategist. And Tamara Holder is a Fox News contributor in Chicago. Tamara, let's start with you. The queen of daytime, firing people. What do you make of it?
Well, I like how you start with the liberal here, Jerry.
We're giving you time.
I feel like this is an attack. No, this reminds me of the American economy at large. You know, all of these companies were trimming the fat and they were cutting down on employees, and people have to go. I think the weirdest thing in this, though, if we're having fun, is Donald Trump's obsession with Rosie O'Donnell. He tweeted about the show. He's like, I think, secretly in love with Rosie O'Donnell.
It could be true. It could be true, although I highly doubt it, Tamara. Chris, what do you say? I mean, I thought this story was interesting just because of the media reaction. Nobody cared. Oprah gets rid of people. It's, you know, she's our favorite billionaire. Whatever she does is fine with us.
Right. Well, I'm surprised she hasn't gone to the White House for a bailout of some kind. Maybe she could just say she produces green energy and turn the whole thing around and get the Obama administration to give her some money. It's good to see it happening. Maybe Obama could hire her to come in and give him some advice on how to tighten his budget. I can only imagine the meeting had to be a lot of fun. I wonder if she taped pink slips under the conference chairs, and everyone got to look under there to see who stayed and who had to go.
That's awful. Yu-Dee, what do you say?
You know, it's no surprise, as with any socialist in the world, she's going through the austerity measures. And also, you know what? I don't think we should worry for Oprah. I mean, she's no stranger to trimming the fat. You know, if we had followed her career over the times, we realize that she go through a period of expansion and contraction. So I'm sure, I have no doubt, one day she'll get big again.
And now I will never, ever be on her show ever again. All right, let's talk about Michelle Obama.
And I will never eat another potato chip.
I love potato chips. Let's talk about Michelle Obama for a second, making her first appearance on the Late Show with David Letterman last night, taking a not-so-subtle jab at Congress. Listen to this.
At the end of the day, has your husband ever come home and said to you, "Oh, that John Boehner, what an idiot"?
He is always upbeat, particularly about Congress.
Chris, that sounded like irony. What do you say?
Well, this is all about politics, is what it is. Michelle Obama's approval rating is 20 points higher than the president's is. And I can empathize with the president. People like my wife more than they like me, too. But what we get down to here is a little bit of a telegraphing of the Democratic strategy going into the fall. As Obama struggles with other demographics, you see Democrats are really going to make a hard run at women, and that's why they're trotting the First Lady out. And it's a very smart strategy on their part. She's popular right now. She's good on TV. And I think she did a great job. And she also had a $5,000 plate fundraiser right after this, so it worked out well for them all the way around.
And Tamara, I love that dress. Did you like the dress?
I did. It was nice and like blocky colored. Yeah. It wasn't like our Fox News, you know, solo chromatic or whatever you call it. I thought she looked pretty, but you know, Jerry, I think that the attack that she's been facing by the Republicans and this whole like movement of women and whatever, you know, that argument is not fair, and it's misplaced. She is the first lady of the most powerful country in the world, and wherever she appears, I think she has an important place in our history.
Well, and she is, you know, somebody that really Americans love. Yu-Dee, what do you say?
Yeah, no doubt about it. This is after her success on Tonight's Show last month. She had another great appearance last night. Basically, people perceive her as funny, charming, cool, and most people think she would be great to hang out with. I think, you know, I'm proud of her as my first lady. Seriously, at least there's one Obama that I could be proud of. You know what? There was something interesting I picked up last night, though, right? She's talking about the fact that she really wanted to sneak out of the White House and threatening to do so. You know, I think come next January, we could accommodate her and actually send her openly out of the White House with her dog Bo, that is, and her husband Barack.
I know there's a lot of people who would vote that way. Well, Let's talk about another story here. Would you be willing to share your Facebook password to land a job? Prospective employers are asking job seekers to hand over their username and password and are even using apps to gain access to your personal profiles. Tamara, what do you say about this?
Well, I'm not a fan of Facebook. I've talked about it on your show before. I think that Facebook is the devil of sorts because they're just keeping all of this information, and you have this idea that you can block your friends and you can block your pictures, but it's really there. And now employers are saying, okay, well, we've caught on to this, so why don't you show us what you've blocked off from the public? Now, that said, I just posted on my Facebook account myself doing a headstand in a bikini, so I'm not really one to tell people what to do.
So you don't like Facebook, but you post a picture of yourself in a bikini. Okay. Huh. All right, Yu-Dee, let me ask you this, though. I mean, it's not about how Facebook normally works. It's about how employers are now trying to use Facebook to get information. Obviously, a potential worker wouldn't have to give that information up about how to access their profile. But look, if you're trying to get a job in this market, you just might do that. Is that right?
Yeah, you know what? I don't think it's right. I think on one hand, you understand why a so-called employer wants to gain access to the applicants with potential employees, right? So that makes sense. They want to find out more about them rather than like an interview, a telephone, research. Basically, I think your Facebook friend probably knows more about you than your 30-year next-door neighbor. So it makes sense. But like you said, handing over the password, giving out login information, I think that's a little bit over the board and pretty much an invasion of your privacy. I don't think it's right.
Chris, should employers be stopped from doing this?
Well, I don't think this is. If you put something on the internet is public, and anyone who thinks that some sort of privacy settings are going to stop what you're putting up there from getting out is just deluding themselves. The fact is, the internet is public. You put something up there that's going to embarrass your employer, embarrass your potential colleagues. Well, I believe your employer has a right to know about it, and it's not as if they're hiring a private detective to hire you to follow you around. They're just asking for your information that most people, that your friends have access to anyway. And if you don't want people to see pictures of you on a cake stand, you probably shouldn't post it on the internet in the first place.
Well, you know,
but
headstand.
What's that?
No, but don't forget, we're talking about
Headstand,
people
not a
applying for a job, right? So if I were applying for a job, so I probably would be pressured in giving you that information. So I think it is an invasion of your privacy.
All right.
Well, and I would say as someone who makes a lot of employment decisions, if you don't want some people to know about something, don't post it on the internet.
Well,
But I didn't because I put it on the private.
A good debate, guys, and can I tell you that I think Tamara's Facebook page just crashed with everybody going on it. All right, Yu-Dee, Chris, and Tamara, thanks so much for being on tonight. We really appreciate your help. Thank you.
You bet.
All right, a flop of epic proportions.